What's up, guys? This is Johnny and Hillary, owners of Pure Bliss, and you're listening to the Pure Bliss podcast, where we talk about business, beauty, and how to be a boss.
We want to start this podcast to help anyone that's unsure about starting a business, show you how we started ours, tell you all the tips and tricks that we have learned, and take you on our journey with us to help motivate and inspire you along the way.
Nailed it.
Beautiful.
All right, guys, getting right back into episode number 9.
I'm not sure.
Maybe. It's been a while. I'm gonna go with 9. If it's not, well, sorry. But yeah, we've been busy since Christmas. We had the Christmas rush, and we just never had any time to do any more episodes. So this is why we've been a little bit MIA.
I'm not sure you can see Taylor.
You blocking me off here, sir?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
Sorry there, madam.
Sorry there, madame. Okay. This is a new setup, by the way, as you can see. So we're trying to make the best of what we got. We got to get a better setup down the road so we can kind of visibly see everyone better. What are you guys laughing at right now?
You're just walking around the room with a mic. Yeah, so this is our new setup.
Well, I got to speak into the mic and I can't lean ahead. And so...
Let us know if you can see us all perfectly or you like the other way better.
Well, 4 people is too much going across the back of the table because 3 was already tight, so... Anyways, this makes no sense to anyone that possibly might just be listening.
They probably think the room is huge and they're like, what the fuck are they doing? All bundled up.
We'll figure it out.
We're actually just hugging each other for those of you who are listening. I'm sitting in Hillary's lap right now because I don't have a chair. So.
You kind of just when you're doing stuff like this, you just got to do it and then perfect it as you go.
No, I agree.
So
it's perfect.
We'll laugh at this in 2 years and be like, what the hell are we thinking?
Yeah, when you have a full on
a loft.
Yes, this podcast room is going to evolve. Just give us some time here.
Speaking of evolving, let's dive right in.
Good transition.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to start this episode off with introducing Taylor Baker Tucker. She's our newest influencer / employee.
Hello.
And we have some questions for her to answer. So what got you into, I guess, the influencing industry, and, what can you share? I'd love to know what I'm asking you.
I would also love to know that.
What's your journey to get you to Pure Bliss?
I can't take him serious. Just you're like...
Yeah. He's like, what am I even asking? I'm like, I don't even know.
This is what I'm talking about. So...
John's like, can I have my script, please?
Yeah.
What am I asking you?
I feel like you're asking me what got me into influencing in social media.
How'd she get here?
That's exactly what I'm asking.
How did I get here, at this table today?
That's exactly what I'm asking.
Taylor's going to ask herself the question that John's trying to ask.
Thank you for filling in.
As per usual.
This is why she's here.
It's a common trend this week.
Oh, shots fired. Okay.
Yeah, so I feel like definitely fitness was what got me into influencing or sharing myself on social media. I kind of just I guess didn't really know what I was doing with my life, as many people when you're in university you're making a lot of changes and all that, and I played a lot of sports growing up, and my first and second year university I didn't really do anything, and I was like, I don't really feel that good, I don't know, I need to change kind of. So I hired a coach, kind of just started posting my progress and then trying supplements out, different things, and just sharing it as my story and healthier recipes and stuff, that I was like, well, maybe if I post this, if someone had posted this when I was doing it, when I was starting, it would have been so much easier. So I was like, maybe I'll do it, and hopefully a couple people that are local or doing the same thing will be interested. And it kind of just picked up from there. People were super interested. So I was like, okay, well, people like this, I'm helping people, that's great. So I started sharing more, and then it kind of just developed. So I was watching a lot of YouTube when I started competing, and I was kind of I could probably do this. And it's also just a really great way to just look back on your own progress if you have the videos, the photos, and see what changes you made in your life and how far you've come. So I was like, well, even if I don't become successful at it, or it's not a job for me, it's a good place it's almost like a diary, you know what I mean? You can go back and look at everything. So I started a YouTube channel, kind of just started being more present and consistent on social media, and just found that people really enjoyed it. And I was connecting with a lot of people all over the world, and even now still I'm always meeting new friends and stuff through networking on social media, and I just really enjoyed it. And as I was finishing my business degree, I was able to kind of implement those strategies and things into my life, so it was kind of going hand in hand, I guess. And yeah, so just started kind of signing new deals and working with different companies, and it's always been places that I have the same values as and stuff, and I feel my goal is always just helping people. So it's never really a not that I don't think it's a full-time job, because it definitely is, but that was never the goal. It was never like I want to be famous, like, or I want to, you know, be an influencer. It just like influencing kind of is how, like, that's the term, and it's just like how it happened.
Just happened, and basically you just wanted to
It
live your
found
life
you.
on your own terms and do what you wanted to do and actually get paid for it and enjoy every day.
Yeah, and like getting paid for it was something that I didn't even think was a thing. So like I first started out by like working with people, and it was like pretty much free work, and I didn't even consider it work, because it was like all I was doing, and all I still do, as you guys know now after working with me, is like I just share what I do. So it's like it's always authentic, and it's always something that's super important to me. It's like if I don't believe in the brand, or I don't believe in what I'm doing, I guess I'm not going to share it. Or if someone wants me to work for them and they're going to give me a bunch of money, but it's not something that I use every single day, or I just support, I guess I'm not going to do it, because it just comes across as influency, I guess, or as like a
Yes.
paid thing.
You can tell.
People can
Lots of
tell
times
if you're
you can tell,
faking it.
Yeah.
So like for me, it's literally like I never ever thought that people would care about what I do throughout the run of a day, or like how I kind of got to this point. And like now it's like a lot of people are asking me that question, and I almost kind of like have to think about it and be like, how did I get here? You know what I mean? It's kind of just like I don't even feel like it's not even real half the time, like that I have these deals and like all these great things happening and I'm growing so much, but like because it's just like I'm just sharing like what I do every day. But like anybody can do it. It's literally just like being there for those, like, and being consistent and showing up kind of is like the way to kind of make it a living too. Like if you just share stuff here and there, people really don't know what you're doing all the time, but they really want to know like all the details. So that's kind of just how I got into it
all the time.
Well, basically, you just start vlogging your life.
Yeah, so I was doing vlogs. So I was kind of, it worked out to be like when I was doing bodybuilding. So I was kind of like, this is my first time doing it, so I'm just gonna play around with YouTube and like play around with like vlogging and like talking on my stories and stuff, which I was always so nervous to do, but I just did it anyways. It's like people might not even see it. I don't even know. Like, you know what I mean? Like whatever. Like I have to start somewhere. So yeah, I would just like do a day in the life, like show what I was eating, my progress. Like so I would like do like a check-in in the morning, and also posting like Instagram stories, just like my snacks and like tips and stuff like that and whatever. So it kind of just like went from there. And obviously like now I do have a couple different niches, I guess, when it comes to like lifestyle and everything else, and like clothing, fashion, and like just fitness too. But yeah, it just kind of like the more you're present, people get to know you, and then they're like, well, they want to know the other details of like, well, where'd you get that like outfit, or like where, you know what I mean? They want to know everything about you, and that's how you can kind of like expand on it. But it's like paying attention to the people who are asking these questions, like the presence that you have and like what they want to know about you, and like showing up for that. Like that's kind of how you become successful with it, I guess, or like how you can kind of grow it in different areas. So that's kind of where I'm at now.
Basically, you're being social on social media, because a lot of people don't realize that like you actually have to, you can't ignore questions, you got to acknowledge everything, you got to have a conversation, because like you wouldn't ignore someone in real life if they were like, oh, where'd you get that sweater, or oh, what are you doing to do this, like you know
if
what I
you're
mean?
trying to be present, you have to be.
Exactly. And I feel like sharing the other, like not just fitness, which is what I was doing when I first started, but sharing all the other stuff just attracts so much more or a bigger audience. And I feel like people find it so much more relatable, because it's just like I am just a regular person, like I'm hanging out at your guys' house like on Sunday, like just chilling, like, you know what I mean? But then I'm also like getting up early to get my work done. So it's kind of just showing everyone that like you can do it. It's just like how
It's just
you
your
know?
choices.
The biggest thing is to just start.
Oh my god,
because everybody
It's
at
so
first is like,
scary.
no one's gonna watch me, no one's gonna listen to this.
I know, I'm like, why would people care about me? Like I'm literally
I'm
just,
no one.
I'm just trying to get like my stuff together, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm a
Figure out
mess,
me.
I'm a hot mess, like literally. And like still sometimes I feel that way, and I have those moments where I'm like, does anyone really care? But then I'll go to the gym and there'll be girls that are like 4 or 5 years younger than me being like, I've watched your channel since you started like 4 years ago. I'm like, really? Like I had no
OG
idea.
sub.
I know. And I'm
love
like,
that.
those are the people that I'm doing it for. Like, and it's great that I'm growing everywhere and like I'm reaching a larger audience, but it's like the girls that are just starting and like they're nervous or don't know what to do. It's like that's like why I do it. You know what I mean? That's why I started. And just
You were
keep
there
it
before
there.
too,
Yeah,
you
you
were
were
there
looking
once.
for someone
Yeah,
for,
oh my
like
god.
you.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
it wasn't always easy for me either. Like, and not that I think that people who have it easy or have a better situation starting like aren't hard workers, because like I mean you can't control your situation. Like if you have a good situation, like expand on that and like optimize it, like do what you can do. But like I didn't. So it's like for me it's kind of like showing people that like I'm always like I did all this by myself, and it's just like you literally can. It's just you gotta start. And I was there too, you know. I was in a really like dark spot for like a long time, and I just had to kind of come through, and like that's why I'm sharing it.
Yeah,
The biggest thing is getting started and staying consistent. Consistency is probably, I would say, the biggest thing.
Oh my god. I feel like that's all I ever say, and it's so funny because it kind of goes across all boards. Like even with like my coaching clients, like And like consistency, guys, like consistency, like show up for yourself, show up for what you're doing. And it's just like it's a different sense of accountability too, because you know that you have to like do something every day, but it's something that you like and you enjoy. And it's so much easier to track progress when you're consistent as well, whether that's analytics for socials or that's like body wise or like whatever you're doing. You can really see the changes that you've made when you're consistent.
You can't if you're not, because well, it's all over the place.
You just don't know. Yeah. So like that was something that like when I really started getting organized and my YouTube started taking off over the last year, it was because I had like an agenda and I was consistent, and I was like, I'll stay up until 2 a.m. to get this video out. I don't care it's out on Wednesday. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just, it has to happen. And like my roommate can attest to that. Like Emily would be like, yeah, she'd be up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. You guys know, like I'm up getting stuff.
4 a.m. Like
4 a.m. I'm like writing in the group chat like, hey, so I have this TikTok idea, guys. Like, you know, but it's just because like I know myself, like, and I've done so much reflection and I've been consistent, and when I'm not consistent I see the dips and like where I, you know, fall short. So it's like doing all that stuff kind of just like holds you accountable. You know, it's like, you know, like you just learn so much about yourself when you're like in tune like with what you're doing, and you just have to kind of like sit in the mirror and be like, what am I like slacking on? Like, what am I not good at? Or like, why is this not growing? Or whatever the case might be. Or for fitness, like, why am I really not making progress? Like, am I really listening to my coach? Like, is it my coach's fault? Is it my fault? Like, you know, am I giving it my all? And like, it's a really hard conversation to have with yourself. And it happened to me over Christmas. Like, I slacked off on my YouTube a little bit over Christmas, and I was like, I made up all these excuses. Like, my family was home. It was hectic. Like, I started a new job, like all these things. And I'm like, I know better than that. Like, you know what I mean?
I can relate, because when I started my channel, I was the same way. I worked a full-time job, and I was getting up 4:30, 5 o'clock every morning. That was when I would edit and like plus like read to like further my knowledge on everything. And when I was consistent, that was when I made the most growth. And like I never missed a week, never missed a beat, no matter what. Like, and I was working so much, but like it paid off. But then like I made excuses, like
you get comfortable and you start falling. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, like I signed a couple new deals. I was like, okay, this is great. Things are working. I can kind of like chill out a little bit and relax. And I'm like, no, I didn't.
That's how you got where you are.
Exactly. I didn't get here because I was chill and relaxed. I got here because I was focused and I got stuff done. And it was just out. And like, it's once you start doing that and you do that for so many months or however long, you know your capability and like your potential, and you know how much you can do, and you feel almost so much more guilty when you don't, because you're like, I know I can do this. Like, I can't make excuses. Like, really, like after 2 weeks over Christmas, I was like, Taylor, like, you've done prep and ran a YouTube channel, worked a full-time job, like did online clients, did all these things, and you were getting up 4 o'clock, like going to bed 9:30 at night, like getting everything done. So it's like, what is your excuse right now? Like, you're not on prep, like you're not doing these things. So like I had to kind of have that hard conversation with myself, and that also like led to me moving out, because I was like, I need space. Like if my issue is I can't get content, like I need to change this. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like recognizing immediately, or when you have that conversation, like a change needs to happen, and like jumping on that versus like waiting it out. I feel like that's like a problem people like always kind of settle into, or you just get comfortable and you're like, oh well, like it'll continue, or I know, because I've had a couple of peaks with YouTube. Like this summer it kind of like took off a bit, and then I was on prep, so I was kind of focused on that, and then like November-ish it like took off again, and obviously into December, which you guys know, when I hit 10k, like that took off a lot, and then I was kind of like, oh, I hit 10k,
I'm good now.
Like I was like, it's like like it's like the difference in celebrating the mini milestones but like not stopping versus like being like, okay, like I hit that, like that's great. But I'm like, no, like I remember when I had 200 subscribers and I never thought I'd see this day. But it's like, if I could do 200 to 10k in a year with all the other things going on that I have going on, I can obviously like do more. So it's like, why do I like, you know, and it's kind of just having that conversation, I guess. But it kind of all leads back to like self-reflection and like looking at like why you started, and just like keeping yourself grounded. And I don't know, not being afraid to start. Like even if you do stop, like even for the podcast, for example, you guys just said like we had to take a few weeks off, like you run a business.
That's
but
it. That's
but
life.
We're here doing it again, because it's like, it's still a goal and you're not stopping, because a lot of people fail because they slack a little bit and they're like, oh, well, I already stopped. Like I didn't show. So for me, it's like, oh, well, I was a little bit slack over Christmas, but that doesn't mean you can't continue the growth. You know what I mean? You just got to start again. You just got to start. Like it's the same. So it's the same thought from when you started, whatever you started in the beginning. It's like, just got to start. Just got to do it. Just got to do it. Like try it.
Yeah, start it again. You're in a better position because you already did it once. You can just pick it up and continue on.
Move on.
And exactly. And like feel free to let people know why. And if it is an excuse, it's an excuse. But like whatever it is, like, and sometimes stuff does happen and it impacts your life. But the more organized you are, like the more you'll find that those things won't really get in the way anymore, and you kind of can level out your priorities.
And I feel like like us moving into 2022, it was a goal to like get things more situated and organized. So that's kind of what we focused on like the first week.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now this is the second week, and we're like, hey, we need to get back on the.
You don't have a choice. You just gotta do it.
Just gotta do it.
Yeah, and I feel like we're all holding each other accountable too. And I think like even with you guys, I know you brought me on to help with stuff, but like it's helping me seeing you guys work towards your goals, because I'm like, okay, well, if we're all working towards these goals, like what are mine? Like, you know, and it's like keeping me in check in a different way.
Yeah, but when you surround yourself with people like you know, like-minded people and like-minded like the same kind of goals, and kind of like boosts you up.
Yeah.
Gives you motivation.
You're like, okay, I have to get up and go do my shit too.
Yeah, like even for the gym, like last night, Hillary was like, "Do you want to go to yoga?" And I was like, I always wanted to do classes.
You guys both said the same thing.
Yeah,
tonight,
like,
you were like AM, and she was like tonight.
I'm
like, anyway, I didn't go to yoga.
Yeah, but we're going to go to yoga. I wanted to do a class for so long, and I wanted to do spin. I've been like reaching out to people, being like, hey, like, what do you guys think about this? And they're like, they tell me all these great things. I'm like, cool. And then I just don't do it. Yeah. So I'm like, when am I going to do it? Like, when I just have to start, like, you know, so I have to kind of prioritize like how important that stuff is to me. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like working together, surrounding yourself by like-minded people, like you even saying that to me and me not being able to go last night, I was like, this isn't good enough.
I can do
but
better.
I went down and did a workout though. Did you? And I wouldn't have done that if
she did. She did. I even did 10 minutes on the treadmill.
Mm-hmm. I made him
10 minutes on the treadmill in my socks.
And no, now I have regrets, because I was like, no, I'm going to take today off and go to the gym tomorrow morning. And then I was like,
Snapchat's me in bed.
Not good enough, Julia. Not
I know.
Good enough.
I know.
Slacking.
It's okay. We're all starting. But exactly. You always have to look at it too. It's like this week I'm so much better than I was last week. Yeah. So it is, you do have to pay attention to the little things. And like you can't only handle so much, but it's just like keeping in mind when you're making an excuse versus like when you are just lazy.
Yeah, like if I didn't go or work out last night, it totally would have just been an excuse.
But like if you do need a day, like something that I'm working on now is like, okay, why do I get burnt out? Like, what is the problem, right? So like now I know like one day a week I'm going to be lazy, but it's almost like, am I really being lazy if I schedule the laziness? Like, you know, it's like I
had this scheduled in.
Yeah,
so
but you're the
so I'm like, I'm not actually lazy, so I don't feel so bad.
This is part of what I was supposed to do this week.
Yeah, it's like I actually like have an appointment to be lazy.
Yeah, but you need to plan your lazy, or else you'll be like up at 4 o'clock, like
I know. I feel like my brain doesn't.
Well, I think the biggest thing is getting enough rest, and then when you don't get rest, when you get like when I was doing like 4 or 5 hours sleep a night, man, it catches up.
Oh my god, it hits you, and then like it takes so much longer than you think to recover from that.
Yeah, and it actually probably like in the long run slows you down.
100%.
Oh, absolutely.
I think Jeff Bezos, CEO of Amazon. In case you don't know, but you must see him all over Facebook.
You know now if you didn't know before.
Everyone knows who Jeff Bezos is. But anyways, yeah, I think he swears by 8 hours sleep, and this guy don't stop. But like he like believes in like, you know, if you don't get enough rest, well then it's going to slow down your whole day, so you're not really getting anything else done anyways.
Well, yeah, and you can't.
And you're suffering.
You can't like focus. You can't think. You can't.
Well, you guys
just
know.
don't work on that level. Yeah.
Yeah, like Sunday when I came over to your house, it was like what 5:30 or 6, and I was like, I'm really tired. Yeah. Like I was like, what? And that was after our first week, obviously, and I was here like flat out and doing my other stuff, and it was my first time kind of incorporating a full-time job into my other jobs. So I was just go because I just wanted to do a really good job and I wanted to like grasp everything, but I found I wasn't really grasping, like I was getting a little bit of everything done. Like even like creator, like studio, I wanted to look at that, but I was like, yeah, I have to do that, but I have to do this, and like I should have just focused on like a couple smaller things first
and then move.
And then like kind of like break it down, you know, but it's new.
So exciting at first.
We were all
we were all talking, couldn't stop talking.
I feel like last week there was days we were here for like half the day. We had plans, and then like we just got into one thing, led to another. It's lunchtime, and we're like,
the day is gone.
Holy Lord, what did we do so far?
But that's what it's like here all the time, though.
Once you get more settled into your schedule, you kind of come in, do your schedule. We'll get together and have a little chat. Yeah.
What I meant.
Then you know, like, okay, I got to go back now to my schedule.
Yeah.
What I meant was, time flies here like that all the time.
Oh yeah.
Not like
absolutely.
Yeah, it's just because like
you're having fun.
Yeah.
Right.
It does.
But yeah, Sunday I was like 5:30. I was like, guys, like I am, and I slept like Saturday night. Like I slept for like 9 hours. Like, and I literally was like, guys, I gotta go home.
You needed it.
And like I slept from 5:30 to 8:30 or 9, and then went to bed at 10. So like I woke up, had a snack, and went right back to bed. Yeah, so it was like, and
you gotta listen to your body.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? Like there's probably a couple of things I planned to do Sunday night I didn't get done, but guess what? Like I did a whole lot the week before, and I obviously didn't plan to rest enough, and like now I know that. So I'm kind of like focusing on sleeping a little bit more, like relaxing.
Took me a long time to learn that, but I did, and I do.
Yeah, but
I'm
to be fair,
9 o'clock in the night now. If I'm like tired all day, I'm like.
It is time.
You are going to bed 8:30, 9 o'clock. But listen, to be fair as well, for anyone starting out in anything they're doing, sometimes you do have to sacrifice some things, including sleep,
Yeah,
to get the ball rolling.
and I did. We
Yeah,
did.
oh
We
yeah,
all
oh
did
yeah,
that.
oh yeah.
and
I'm just
I
saying.
will again.
But it's just
It'll come a time.
day to day. Like, if you want to function the best you can, you need your rest.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just like being organized is
Yeah,
the key.
even like to come up with ideas and goals, like you can't do that with no sleep.
No. it's
No,
not
not when you're
happening.
just thinking about like.
Well, if you're
can't wait to close
tired.
my eyes.
If you're
Yeah.
tired, you don't want to do anything. So for me, like I always found if I was burnt out or after a show, if I didn't have like a post-show plan, which has happened a couple of times, I was so, and like obviously post-show blues, but like I was so disoriented and I was like, I'm so tired and I don't want to do anything. I'm not goal oriented. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't want to do anything because I was like so drained from like months and months of just like overworking myself.
Yeah.
So like then now after a show, I have plans and I have like videos and content ready and everything's ready for me. When I'm in that grind mode, I plan for the few weeks that I'm not going to be. And it's like, then I can kind of just ease right into it.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just, but it's recognizing those things about yourself too. It's like some people can just go and then they love it. And like, I'm pretty much like that sometimes, but I also recognizing now, like if I don't take a break, how's this going to work out? Like,
Yeah.
It catches up.
Yeah,
Like, there's
it does,
no way around
always.
it. Like
exactly.
you know. So, yeah. So that wraps up pretty much the beginning.
I know that was a very long-winded answer from me.
Yeah, I'm like we're like 28 minutes in right now.
If you guys know me, like, well, they probably, if they watch my channel,
They'll know you now.
I'll go forever.
It's like, so this is Taylor.
I know we had a
Just
meeting
sit
the
back.
other night, and I was just meeting the staff for the first time, or some of them for the first time, and I was just going over kind of what I'm going to be doing here, and I literally looked at Johnny, and I was like, all right, you want to start this? Because like I didn't really want to come out and be like, hello, which obviously I did, but
well, I started it and like said a couple of things, and she was like, "Okay, I'll take this from here."
yeah, I was like, enough out
Was it
of
that
you.
TikTok thing? Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I was like, he was literally looked at me and I was like, he said like 2 words. He's like, yeah, so this is what Taylor, and I was like, so this is what I'm going to be doing. And then I literally just took off for like 30 minutes and Hillary and Jew were just like, this is her.
No, but
like,
it was perfect.
It's so funny because
We
like
were
she,
both on
a-
opposite ends of the room, and we were just like, she's killing it.
Yeah.
she would say some things, and I'd be like, "Okay, I'm gonna weigh in on this," and then I'm like, "But I can't interrupt, so I'm just gonna wait." And then
Thank
it's like,
God you
"Okay, that's."
We're
I'm just
moved
gonna
on to
forget-
the next topic now.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like you guys were like, is she going to miss something? Nope, she got it. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, but I will go forever. So you really need to kind of reel me in sometimes.
I feel like I interrupt Taylor all the time. Like, okay,
She's like, chill, girl.
I feel like we
I
might just
know.
have to because she doesn't mean to. Like,
yeah, like she's not
she
trying
means well,
to like,
but
yeah.
sometimes we just have to interrupt her.
Oh, God.
No, but
This is
everything's
actually an
fine.
intervention.
No offense, no offense.
Yeah,
But,
we love when you ramble.
I know. I can go.
Okay, so we're just gonna pick the winner to last video's giveaway. I know you guys are probably sick of waiting, but we haven't had a chance to do our video till now. So I got the random YouTube comment picker up here, and I'm going to pick the winner. Do you remember what the giveaway actually was?
It was Saltwater Designs gift card and a
The giveaway will be in the description.
Yes. I think it was a Fire and Ice facial from us plus a gift card from Saltwater Design. Regardless, if you watch the video and you're curious and you commented, well, you'll know what it is. The winner is Taylor Pittman.
yay!
Woohoo!
Congrats,
See?
Taylor. Woohoo,
Congrats.
confetti.
Must be the name. I'm here, and she wins.
It's
Yeah.
a Taylor
Good
day.
name, girlfriend.
It's a Taylor thing.
So exciting. You'll love it.
All right. This episode seems to be long enough right now. We're going to...
Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. We got lots of questions. We're just going to wrap this episode up and continue this into a part 2. So stay tuned for the next episode. And thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Bye. Let's fucking go. I mean,
Yeah, this is another...
Hillary's just like, okay.
We want to start this podcast to help anyone that's unsure about starting a business.
Take 17.
3 hours later.
Okay.
Oh, the
I
SpongeBob.
don't care.
You got it.
You
So
know what you're
guys, this
saying.
used to be John's part. and he
Let
couldn't
me
say it.
fill you in on a little story. I kept up and you were like, let me do it. And I'm like, all right, good.
Yeah,
do
because
it.
it was like attempt number 49.
Okay, try breaking it into 2 parts.